Welcome into my first weekly Bears mailbag over here at CHSN. And we're going to talk about all the questions that you guys have. I want to appreciate everybody who sent in questions on Twitter. We're going to get to a few of them right now. And the first one comes from Luis R. Don Jr. If the Bears pick up the offense but keep losing games, do you think Thomas Brown has a chance of becoming the head coach next season? That's a really good question. And I would say no, and that's because he is not the interim head coach like you saw Antonio Piers out there in Las Vegas. He was the interim head coach, won some games, became the actual head coach. Because he's the interim offensive coordinator, that's another level up. So if they're still losing games, I don't think he'll be considered for the head coach. I think he could maybe stay on staff as the offensive coordinator if a new head coach comes in, if he does a really good job and shows he can work with Caleb Williams. Why would you want to split that up? So I think that is a possibility if he shows that him and Caleb Williams can get better and keep improving. That's the main thing. So let's go to the next one. So our next question comes from @22 Sneed. Do you think Justin Fields would have fared better? And that's a tough question because the answer is yes. Justin Fields' numbers last year with the Bears were better than all of Caleb's numbers this year with the Bears, but Justin Fields is in his fourth year, Caleb's in his first year. And you look at Justin Fields last year, he didn't have as good as an offensive line. He didn't have near the weapons they had this year. This year, the Bears have a better running back. Their tight ends got better. You got Gerald Everett, Cole Kmet, another year. He's improved. And then you bring in, obviously, you got DJ Moore. Then you bring in Keenan Allen. You bring in Rome Odunze. Yes, Justin Fields would have fared better, and the Bears would have been better this year. But I think moving forward, Caleb has a higher ceiling because of his ability to throw the ball. And let's move to the next and final question. And this is coming from Cynthia Diaz 0. How much is Ryan Poles to blame? It seems like he was wrong to trust Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis this year. And don't get me started on Ryan Poles because somehow he's like Neo in the Matrix. He's dodging bullets, but people need to hold him accountable. He's done some fireable offenses. To answer your questions, Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis. In the last 3 seasons, Tevin Jenkins has missed 21 games. In the last 2 seasons, Nate Davis has missed 11 games. How could you count on these guys to be starters when you know their history shows that they can't be counted on to be in the starting lineup? Okay? So absolutely not. And Ryan Poles, let's look at some of the things he's done. You go back to Chase Claypool. He traded a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. You could have used that. Velus Jones Jr. as your punt returner. The guy had 5 punt returns in college. You throw him into your punt returner in the NFL. The guy can't catch a punt. Then you move to this year. He was the guy who signed Matt Eberflus. Who was sitting in those interviews with Matt Eberflus when you're hiring the offensive coordinator Shane Waldron? Ryan Poles. Who was sitting in the meeting room with Matt Eberflus when he's hiring Luke Getsy last year, another offensive coordinator that got fired? Ryan Poles. It all comes back to him. He has veto power over all of these hires, and he needs to take accountability. But right there is your first Bears mailbag over here at CHSN. Keep sending your questions. We'll do this again next week, and we'll see you then.